Hello friends, Steve Motley here in beautiful Raleigh, North Carolina. It's Monday, August the 27th, 2012, and we just completed a fabulous weekend with our Akea booth at the Raleigh Mind, Body, Spirit Expo. And I'm so motivated about this weekend, about the opportunity we had to share this fabulous product with so many wonderful people. I'm excited about all the new affiliates that joined us this weekend, as well as the opportunity I had to introduce and then listen to Dr. Maurice Awareness, the formulator of this fabulous product. He came and spoke to a group of people at the expo, and of course, as soon as he was done, many of them made a beeline down to the booth where they got signed up as affiliates and ended up walking out with many cans of this fabulous product. You see, friends, I got a story to tell, and I want to take just a couple minutes to share it with you. You see, on my 5 years ago, on my 51st birthday, I was diagnosed as a type 2 diabetic. And you know, I'd always been the picture of health. You know, I was in the Marine Corps for 20 years. I always was on the cutting edge of human performance. I've always been into nutrition, so I was almost flabbergasted when I discovered that I had diabetes. Now, you know, the doctors tell me that a lot of it had to do with predisposition. You know, my dad was diagnosed when he was like 52 years old, and my grandfather came down with onset diabetes at the age of 70. So the doctors tell me I had a predisposition. I'm not so sure I believe that, but the fact is, it rocked my world. It sent me into a tailspin, and those of you that have diabetic friends, you know exactly what I'm talking about. And the interesting thing is, they tried all sorts of medications with me over a period of 3 years before I discovered this fabulous product 2 years ago. And all the different medications they gave me, they come to find out I was allergic to them. And for 3 years, I was sick almost on a daily basis. You know, it was like there wasn't a day that would go by that I didn't have some sort of severe nausea. And many days I would eat a nice meal, walk right outside, and throw the meal up. It was terrible. It was just terrible. I don't know how else to explain it. And I was almost at wit's end when I decided in August of 2010 to go to the Mind, Body, Spirit Expo right here in Raleigh. And I remember saying a prayer before I went in. I said, God, I don't care what, but just please guide me to something. Help me find something that will help me get control of this diabetes, because I knew I was dying. You know, and I was way too young. You know, I have 5 beautiful children. I have 4 grandchildren that I love dearly, and I want to be around on this planet a long time for. And so I was desperate to find something that worked, because the conventional pharmaceutical route just was not working with me. So as I went in that expo that day 2 years ago and walked up and down the aisles looking at all the different products, I finally came to this one booth called Akea. And I saw this group of people over there working, and they had little samples they were pouring into cups, and people were drinking this stuff. But I didn't, you know, I'm not one that likes salespeople, and so I didn't want to get pitched to, and I knew they were selling something. But something drew me in. Something told me to go there to that booth, but still I was apprehensive, so I walked on by. But I checked them out real carefully as I walked by. I ended up walking by 8 times, and on the 8th time, a gentleman by the name of Dean Feazell, who's become one of my favorite people on the planet, from Ellerbe, North Carolina. Dean was over there. He looked to be about my age, maybe a little younger, and he said, "Hey, come here, come here." I said, "What?" He said, "Come here, I'm not gonna bite you." I said, "All right." I walked over to him and I said, "All right, man, what are you selling?" He said, "Wait a minute." He said, "Before I tell you what I'm selling," he said, "let me tell you my story." I said, "Okay, I'll listen to your story. What's going on?" He looks over at this big poster he had up. It was a picture of him when he weighed over 300 pounds. And I looked at it, and he says, "That was me when I was 300 pounds. And I said, "Oh my goodness." He said, "I went on to get diagnosed with type 2 diabetes. He said, "I was on all kind of medications." He said, "Then a friend of mine named Scott shared this product with me called Akea Essentials." I said, "Okay, what is this Akea Essentials?" He started telling me. He says, "It's a foundational supplement based on longevity hotspot research." I said, "Longevity hotspots?" I said, "You mean places like where people live the longest disease-free lives?" And I knew about that because I spent 7 years of my life on the island of Okinawa as a Marine, and I know Okinawa has more centurions than any place on the planet per capita. He said, yeah, just like Okinawa. And he went on to tell me the story about how the founders of Akea were real estate guys. They were already millionaires, very successful in their own right. By the way, the CEO of Akea flies his own Learjet, okay? I mean, that's what kind of people we're dealing with here, folks. But anyway, Dean went on to tell me that they commissioned a naturopathic doctor from right down the road here in Durham by the name of Maurice Wareness. And Maurice was a good friend of the founder of Akea. His name is William King. He's a wonderful soul, great man, visionary. But William noticed during his real estate ventures to Costa Rica, he was a real estate man, still is, I guess, but he'd made his fortune in real estate investing. He noticed when he went to visit a friend named Sam down in Costa Rica that they noticed all these people were, octurians. They were in their 90s, 100, and they started asking questions. They said, hey, what do people, how long do you people live? And they said, well, we got friends over 100. They said, do you know what cancer is or heart disease? They didn't know what it was. And so when William King came back to Raleigh, he got with his friend Dr. Wareness, and he said, Maurice, he said, we need you to find out what it is. What is it about these people in Nicosia, Costa Rica, that live so long and healthy? What is it about the people in Okinawa? Well, Maurice went out and started to do this research, and he found out that in places like Okinawa, it was the nanochinese, it was the green tea, the turmeric, and then they found 9 different places around the planet called longevity hotspots, or Oprah refers to them and Dr. Oz as blue zones. We all have heard that term. Anyway, Maurice Wareness formulated this product based on the 30-plus superfoods that these people all around the world in these indigenous places like Bama, China, and Loma Linda, California, and Sardinia, Italy, places like that, where people live the longest, and they took all of those wonderful ingredients and put them into a single presentation called Akea Essentials. Now, back to my story. When I learned about this, I still was skeptical, even when I came to the expo several years ago, but finally a can made its way into my hands, and on the 8th day of September 2010, I took my very first scoop. And it was amazing. After I mixed it up with some rice milk, I went the rest of that day and I didn't get sick. I was just waiting for the shoe to fall, but it didn't happen. So I got up the next morning, took another scoop of this Akea Essentials. Again, I went all day, and that afternoon I took another scoop. Friends, 2 years later, I'm here to tell you that whatever this amazing product has done, it has put me in a position where I feel better than I've felt in years. I tell people I'm 56 going on 20. I've shed a lot of excess weight. I am on no medications. Now, let me give you a disclaimer. We make no claims about what this product will do. I can only tell you my story, okay? So we don't know what it'll do for you. Well, we sort of do know what it'll do for you based on our experience with getting so many of our friends and family members on this product. We know this will change your life for the better. And then one of the other things that's critical component to Akea Essentials is the fermentation process. Dr. Wareness, Maurice Wareness, learned as he studied these indigenous people that one of the keys was fermentation. Those of you baby boomers out there, people my age or maybe a little older, we remember our grandparents, how they used to always can tomatoes and green beans and cucumbers and all these wonderful things. Well, that was fermentation. And that's why our grandparents lived such long, healthy lives. My grandfather was 88 when he passed away, and my grandmother was 89. But nowadays people are not living as long. And so what we're offering to the world with this fabulous product called Akea Essentials is a way that you can take charge of your health naturally, organically. This product it's got the superfoods blends, it's got all the probiotics, proprietary blends, plant-based digestive enzymes, and it's gluten-free, dairy-free, soy-free. It's a whole food supplement, superfoods of the world's longevity hotspots. With that, friends, I don't want to take any more of your time. This video is already too lengthy, but I hope you've gotten some really positive information out of this, because we just want you to try it. We have a program called the 60-Day Challenge. If you use this product for 60 days and you're not completely satisfied, the company will give you your money back. But guess what? You're not going to do that, because this is going to change your life just as it's done mine. And I can't wait to hear your story. So please contact me. Go to my website, get signed up immediately, and call me so I can answer all your questions and help you get started today to change your life for the better. So thank you very much for your time. God bless you, and I hope to talk to you soon. Bye-bye.